A few weeks back, I took a few students out for a photo walk to Connaught Place in New Delhi. Now, I have to tell you about a small incident, or I must relate a small incident that took place. And this incident prompted me to tell these students that if they wanted to improve their photography, be it street, journalistic, or travel photography, they must strip away their prejudices and try and eradicate all these preconceived notions from their systems. And they should also strip the labels off the heads. They should also strip the labels from the heads of the people they photograph. Now, at this point, I crave your indulgence. Permit me to relate two incidents. One I read about, and the other directly related to my injunction or my instruction to my students. A few years back, a photograph of a photographer jumping on the corpses of Bangladeshi workers, migrant workers, probably illegal immigrants, exploded across social media. The culprit was an Assamese news photographer, and his subsequent interviews showed him to be absolutely unrepentant for his absolutely ghastly, inhumane actions. When I watched a short clip of him justifying his action, I noticed hatred spreading across his face. This man could not see the Bangladeshi Muslims as people. He could only see them as Muslims and probably regarded them as some sort of a subhuman species. Now let's move to the incident that prompted my guidance. We met a man from South India who was asking us for directions. Then he asked us where we lived, asked me my name. He was a curious little chap. But then, right out, he asked me if I'm a Brahmin. And to say that I was flabbergasted is an understatement. Barring one incident in college, nobody has asked me about my caste, my religion or lack of it, and, or at least not in such an outright manner. My two students were shocked. Well, let me be honest. They were more surprised than shocked. Their relatively muted reaction prompted me to tell them that if they wanted to improve their photography, or their writing, or their business skills, they should not paste labels on people's foreheads, and if they find these labels, they should strip them away. I also said that this is easier said than done, because while I gave them this instruction or this guidance, I also must confess that we're all a bundle of prejudices. Every one of us. We are all a bundle of prejudices and attitudes, preconceived notions, and what have you. None of us are born with prejudice. None of us are born with hatred. None of us are born treating the others as the other. But our elders instill prejudice, hatred, and all sorts of attitudes within us. Now, if we allow prejudice to blind us or drive us, these attitudes will seep into everything we do. It'll seep into our creative work, it'll seep into our business work, and it will actually cause us to lose opportunities. It'll lessen us as individuals. And if you're a business person, you might end up hiring the wrong person simply because you reject the person because of the label on their forehead. So let me illustrate this point with yet another story. A few decades back, I was caught in a riot zone with no food or water. Shoot-at-sight orders were in place, and I managed to escape after a few days. Later, we discovered that someone had thrown cow dung on the statue of the god Ganesh in the marketplace. Everyone assumed that a Muslim trader had done this, causing And they went crazy. People just went crazy. They went wild. And I remember escaping I remember escaping from this mob, running in my direction, blind hatred on their faces, everyone carrying rods, bricks, and all sorts of, dangerous implements. After the riot subsided, people discovered that it was a Hindu trader and not a Muslim who had thrown the cow dung on the statue. Why? He had a small dispute with the Muslim trader, and to spite the man, he threw cow dung on the statue. Everyone assumed that it was a Muslim. Nobody paused to think. Nobody paused to investigate. It had to be a Muslim. And then the riots broke out. The damage was done, not just in terms of loss of property, not just in terms of loss of business, but also in loss of social relations. It took a long time for people to lose some of that suspicion they had of each other. The social damage and the business damage and the financial damage was done. The end. And that's why I say, strip away the label of people's foreheads. See them as people. See them as people and not as Hindus or Muslims or Christians or Jews or Brahmins or Dalits or whatever. See them as people. And only then will you actually be able to work with them, and only then will you be able to write about them, and only then will you be able to photograph them with some degree of sympathy and respect. Don't forget what we studied in school, The Merchant of Venice. Remember Shylock's words, "Cut me and I bleed," or something like that. We all bleed. All of us, even the so-called blue-blooded, we all have red blood. Strip that damn label off. Just strip it off. Forget about it. Throw it away. Cast away all these damned prejudices which kill us. Go out and become a better human being. Or at least walk in that direction. Your creative work, your humanity, your business, and most important, once again, your humanity depends on that. See you all next time. Rajiv Chopra from the Dusty Mike Chronicles. Goodbye for now. See you in the next podcast episode. If you like what I said, if you like what I share, drop a line, comment, share the conversation, or join the conversation actually. Share the post, follow along, and encourage others to join. See you all next time. Ciao.